Stinkomalee Triumphans Richard Harris Barham win air with pitying eye I view each operative soating town. I smile to think how wondrous few get drunk who study at the university we've got in town. What precious fools the people grew, their alma mater not in town. The useful classes hardly knew for was composed of 2 and 2, until they learned it at the university we've got in town. But now they were taught by Joseph Hume, by far the cleverest squat in town. Their items and their totals too each may dissect his sister Sue, from his instructions at the university we've got in town. Then Ellie comes, like him how few can caper and can trot in town. In pirouette or pas de deux he beats the famed Monsieur Giroux, and teaches dancing at the university we've got in town. And Gilchrist, see, that great Gentoo professor, has a lot in town of Cockney boys, who fag Hindu, and learn gymnasties at the university we've got in town. Sam our corpse of vampire hue, comes from its grave, to rot in town. Forbays the dead bards crowned with you, and chaunts the pleasures of the university we've got in town. Frank Jeffrey, of the Scotch Review, whom Moore had nearly shot in town, now, with his pamphlet stitched in blue and yellow, did nanosecond the other two, but lauds the ever-glorious university we've got in town. Great Birkbeck, king of chips and glue, who paper off does blot in town, from the Mechanics' Institution, comes to prate of wedge and screw, lever and axle, at the university we've got in town. Lord Waithman, who long since withdrew from Mansion House to cot in town, adorned with chair of ormolu, all darkly grand, like Prince Lebu, lectures on free trade at the university we've got in town. Fat F, with his coat of blue, whose speeches makes so hot in town, in rhetoric, spells his lectures through, and sounds the V for W, the way they speaks it at the university we've got in town. Then H.E. comes, who late at Newgate Market, sweetest spot in town. Instead of one clerk popped in two, to make a place for his nephew, seeking another at the university we've got in town. There's Captain Ross, a traveller true, has just presented. What in town's an article of great verdue, the telescope he once peeped through, and spied an Esquimau canoe on Croker Mountains, to the university we've got in town. Since Michael gives no roast stew, where Whigs might eat and plot in town, and swill his port, and mischief brew, poor Creevy sips his water gruel as the beadle of the university we've got in town. There's Jerry Bentham and his crew, names ne'er to be forgotten town, in swarms like Banquo's long is Sioux, Turk, Papist, Infidel, and Jew, come trooping on to join the university we've got in town. To crown the whole with triple Q and other such there's not in town, twitching his restless nose askew, behold tremendous Harry Bruggen, law professor at the university we've got in town. Grand chorus, Huza, Huza, for Harry Bruggen, law professor at the university we've got in town.